What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Sports Sidebar Podcast. You're tuning in with your boy Rich, and I'm here with my buddies Tom and JD, and we're about to get this thing started. Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got a brand new episode for everybody. How's everybody doing tonight?
Doing good, Rich. How you doing?
Doing great, man. March Madness is upon us, man. About time.
I know. I feel
About
like
to be
you wait all year for this, and then it just flies by real quick. So gotta savor it while it's here.
Oh yeah, man. I'm just hoping we get a lot of good games. Like I said before, man, bracket's gonna be busted by the first day. So
Oh, 100%.
it's gonna be a lot of fun though.
Yeah, it always is.
Well, let's get right into it, man. I mean, we had the NFL kicking up a little bit, trying to get us to talk spicy about it. We had your Jets, man. They went out there, they made some moves, man. They went out there and got the left tackle from Dallas Smith. Then they went ahead and signed Mike Williams today. How you feeling, man?
Yeah, I mean, I like those two moves for them. I think shoring up the offensive line was something they had to do. So I like that. And then yeah, I liked signing Mike Williams. It's an incentive laden deal, so everyone knows his injury history, but if he's healthy, he can get paid, and I think it's a kind of a win-win for both sides. He'll get paid. Hopefully, the Jets play well, and then he'll be looking for a contract next year, a longer-term deal. So yeah, I did like both those signings. Be curious to see kind of if they have anything else in store, or we're gonna sit tight until the draft and see what we can do there.
Yeah, I feel like you guys do need another receiver, or whether it be through the draft or whether I'm feeling the tight end from Georgia for you guys. I think that'd be a
Yeah,
nice
you
little
like
fit.
Brock?
Yeah, I'm feeling that might be a nice little fit for y'all. So, but even if somehow he went, there was another top receiver there, I'm definitely go with that receiver.
Hmm.
Just in case Mike Williams isn't able to last the whole year.
Yeah.
And you still got two good receivers you can go at. So, but I do feel like the tight end is what you're missing. But offensive line, I mean, you guys did sign a bunch of people, but you can never have not enough offensive linemen. So,
100%.
pretty much like I said before, it's pretty much like the best available player for you guys, which will probably be that wide receiver or O lineman. So, it's gonna be interesting to see though,
Yeah, absolutely.
because if one of those quarterbacks fall, somebody's jumping up.
Yeah, I don't see the quarterbacks falling. I mean, it looks like I think at 1 and 2, definitely going quarterback now that the trades have been made with Fields and Sam Howell, and then the Patriots obviously trading Mac Jones. They're going to be looking for a quarterback too. So I think top three are almost locked in for quarterbacks. So I think but like you said, if someone else jumps up and wants a JJ McCarthy, definitely see some movement there.
Giants, please don't draft JJ McCarthy. Please, please.
I thought the Patriots might take a stab at him, but who knows?
Whoever they think about it, don't do it. Please don't do it, man.
Yeah.
Send your franchise back, man. But we have to wait and see what happens, man. He's shooting up the draft boards now, according to these rumors. There's rumors that Minnesota might move up to try to get him, or try to get up whoever the third quarterback is, since they got those 2 draft picks. But it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, like you said before, those first 2.5, 3 picks are pretty much locked at quarterback. Then it looks like it's gonna be 3 receivers going off the board, then some O linemen, and then it's gonna be a wild card after that.
Yeah.
But still looking forward to see what happens. Which quarterback is 1, and who's the 2 and who's the 3.
I definitely think it's going to be Caleb 1, and then 2 and 3 can go either way.
Yeah. So, and then even if he doesn't go 1, who goes 1? And then that means he falls to Washington. I'm hoping it's a wild night, man. I hope they don't just give us some what we predicted. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I don't know if you saw your boy Chase Young. He signed with the well, before we get into that, I mean, let's talk about this Fields trade, man. What the hell is going on with Chicago, man?
I always feel like when these trades come out, it's I don't know. I'm always stunned. I think that it wasn't higher pick, or there weren't more teams involved. It ends up being a sixth rounder that can move up to a fourth, and then you're hearing that it was only a few teams. I think it was like 5 teams out there that were in on it. So it's like, I don't know, that part is always strange to me. Like, why isn't I mean, if I'm anybody and I have a spot, like, why am I not even like, let's go San Francisco. Like, why is Kyle Shanahan not like, hey, I'll give up a sixth rounder for that guy? Like, this is the same guy who traded like all his picks for Trey Lance. So stuff like that always kind of makes me wonder why other people weren't involved. Like, do they know something that we don't? Are they looking at something that I'm not? But I would take a flyer on this guy. These guys take flyers on people all the time.
No, you know what I wonder? I wonder if there's other teams, like you mentioned, the other teams that were interested. I wonder what they offered and whether or not if Chicago just sent them there based off of, they didn't want him in division, or
sure.
Maybe that's where he wanted to go. So
definitely a possibility. I think he had some ties to Pittsburgh, but like, again, like, why? I don't know. I'm always just, why aren't the Patriots calling? Like, hey, this guy tore us up last year. Let's give him a shot. I don't know. Stuff like that always, I don't understand.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. What if the Patriots? What if like some of these teams are offering a second or a third, and they said, hey, these are the 5 teams that are looking to get you. Which one would you prefer to go to?
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I'd rather go to Steelers, but
yeah, you might be right. You might be right.
That's what I really want to know, because I think that will help us put the trade in better perspective of why they did what they did. Even though they should have traded them a long time ago before that.
Yes,
because then they could have had the first and second pick. But now they got the first and the 9th. But because in that second pick they would have had, they could have just moved down to the 9th, and then they could have had 3 picks in the first round rather than just the 2. So, like I said, man, it's going to be interesting to see how things shake up. Even on the Steelers side, I mean, I don't want to say he's going to give Russell a run for his money, but
I think he will.
Yeah, I feel like if Russell starts playing bad, they're going to, tag him in. So, but it's going to be interesting to see if they run 2 quarterbacks. Like, if they have a package for Russell, they have a package for Fields. Depending on how the season goes. So
yeah, for sure.
And then before I was got cut off, lost my train of thought. Boy Chase Young, he went to the Saints on a 1-year deal. I guess like a lot of people didn't want him, man.
Yeah, then he immediately had neck surgery today, and he's out until training camp, maybe. So it sounds like everyone kind of knew about that. It was disclosed all, and the Saints still went ahead and signed him. Yeah, I don't know. He's just like, I guess 1-year deal, low overall risk. It's still obviously a lot of money, but yeah, I think people are definitely concerned about his motor and his kind of wanting to play football, because it seems like it comes and goes. Sometimes he looks great, other times looks like he'd rather be anywhere else. So
yeah, man, he had a lot of potential. Seems like he's still dealing with the same neck injury from a few years ago. The main thing that was questioned about it was his motor, and it seems like that is living up to be true.
Yeah,
he takes plays off here and there, kind of like Julius Randle, but hopefully he can figure some things out and get to where he needs to be.
Yeah,
because he'll be on another 1-year deal next year. So.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then on to the NBA. Your boy Embiid talking about he's gonna come back, man. I don't know what's wrong with him, man. He needs to sit it down.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Just call it a year, bro. Get healthy and see what you can do in the off season and yeah, get ready for next year. I don't really. I'm with you. I don't really know what he's doing.
Because I mean, the team is not a championship team yet. I feel like he's gonna come back just to get hurt again in the playoffs. When he might as well just to sat it down. There's no way for him to win any other awards like MVP or anything like that. Yeah, man, just sit it down, dog.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
And either way, they're gonna be out the first round, so just hang it up, dog. And then I mean, we got the Knicks. They trying to get healthy. Boy Brunson had back-to-back 40-point games. Right now, they're sitting about 3 games back from second place. Celtics obviously first place in the East. Ain't nobody catching them really, from what I can see. They're about 10 games up.
I think they've just about locked up the top seed.
Yeah, so it's pretty much gonna be everybody's fighting for that two through 8 spot. But you kind of want to put yourself in a position where you don't see the Celtics until the Eastern Conference Finals. So
Right.
they definitely need to get up there into that 2 spot. And then we got your Celtics, man. Like I said, man, they rolling. About 10 games up. How you feeling about your team, man?
Yeah, I mean, hard to argue anything that they're doing right now. They're playing well. I think they're sort of managing their guys in and out of the lineup, which is good. You saw Sam Hauser come out and drop 10 threes on Washington the other day. So and some of these guys are just getting a lot of airtime, a lot of bench players. Again, keeping Drew and Kristaps and Jalen and Jason and Al all healthy, ready to go. Obviously, you don't want them to get all too much time off so that they're not ready to go. But again, these are kind of some older guys, so you're trying to do your best to keep them all healthy and still win games. So I think they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, they're doing a good job with the rotations.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned, the rest. As far as
Yeah.
keeping Porzingis healthy, and then I like that second rotation unit they kind of do where they let they take out Tatum and then they let I won't say it's the Brown show, but they let Brown go off for a little bit and do what he needs to do. Then they sit him and they bring back him, Tatum and Porzingis. They put him in the pick and roll. Then they switch up and they do some things with White and Drew. So you guys got a nice little 5-headed little monster going, but we're gonna see what happens come playoffs, man. A lot of stuff's gonna slow down. Everybody need to show up, but it's still gonna be fun to watch. I think you guys can get back to the finals.
Yeah, I hope so. This team seems like it's gelled a lot better, maybe than even last year's team, and they're very unselfish, and I just like the way they play.
Yeah, man. I mean the point differential is pretty high, man. So I won't say I can't fall short, but you definitely anything less than the finals will be a little disappointing.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
And then on the West, I mean, we got a freaking three-headed, three-way tie, between OKC, they're number 1 right now. Then you got the Nuggets and the Timberwolves, both a half game back. And the Nuggets are playing the Timberwolves tonight, so it's going to be an important game. So I'm surprised it's this close, man. But all 3 of these teams are great. It's going to be interesting to see how Minnesota fares without Cat. But, I mean, the Nuggets are getting into playoff form, so they're going to be very dangerous. And then I'm interested to see if OKC can keep this up into the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, I think we've seen in the past a couple of teams like we'll say the Kings last year where they kind of get into the playoffs, kind of fizzle out, and I hope OKC's not like that, but these like newer teams that get into the playoffs seem like they take a couple of years in the playoffs to fully, maybe grasp the levity of the situation, and so I do like their setup. They got the guy that can score. They got height. They got a little bit of everything. They're just really young. That's the only thing I worry about with them.
Yeah, man. That's the only thing we're gonna see once playoffs start. If they can kick it into that next year to do what they need to do to knock some of these teams off. Because it's gonna be those like 7-8 teams. They're gonna have a lot of playoff experience. So things could change. So
yep, for sure.
And then almost forgot about Minnesota. Your boy Anthony Edwards caught another body last night.
R.I.P. John Collins.
Yeah, R.I.P. to Collins, man. They say he got hurt after the dunk too.
I mean, I would have left too.
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm out for the rest of the season, man. That's crazy, man.
No coming back from that one.
Yeah, they interviewed Ant-Man and on the after game press. And they were like, they showed him the dunk, and he said, "Woo!" You can't believe you did that to him, man.
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes in those situations you probably don't realize how crazy it looks, but some of those side angles are pretty wild.
Yeah, he like dislocated his finger after he did it, got taped up, and came back in, man. I mean,
he's a beast.
Yeah, I mean, he's great, man. I was thinking about him today. I was like, I was trying to compare it to some other people as far as his athleticism. I mean, the only thing he kind of reminds me of like a young Jordan, but it's still a lot he has to figure out offensively. But not to put that much pressure on him, but I couldn't really put my finger on anybody else as far as like how athletic he is. Just because he's about Jordan's height, the same 6'6".
Yeah.
There's other guys that were bigger like Tracy McGrady or T-Mac, but those guys were those guys were knockdown shooters too. So
Sure.
But I mean, he's right in that mix, man. He just got to figure out a few more things that he could definitely take to the next level. Hopefully, we might be looking at the future face of the NBA. You never know.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. The guy's got swag. He's good. He's on a good team.
I still feel like something's missing from the team. Not sure what. I don't want to say another piece, but normally teams have that, that 1, 2, 3 punch. I don't really think they have that third option. Cat would be that second, maybe third, depending on who else will get on that team. But they've got the right piece, so they just got to figure out how to build around it.
Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, it's not really much of MLB. They're kicking off the season. Dodgers pretty much favored to win it. Hopefully Yankees can figure it out and not lose to the Astros again. It's not really much yet, man. It's probably going to be one or two teams that are surprise us and they, get in the playoffs and, they finish with a great record. But other than that, there's nothing really else going on right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Then NHL, they're getting ready for the playoffs. A bunch of teams competing right now for spots. Some of these matchups are looking kind of crazy for the first round, especially in the East. I mean, the Panthers versus the Capitals, that's not too bad. Probably roll with the Panthers on that one. If the playoffs started today. The Leafs versus the Lightning, that should be a good one. You guys, the Hurricanes got the Bruins the first round. That's gonna be a tough matchup.
That would be that's a Bruins nightmare.
Yeah. Then we got the Rangers versus the Penguins. It's gonna be another tough one. Most of the Eastern matchups I feel like a lot of the Eastern matchups probably should be like close to like these look like semifinals, finals of a conference or something. Then on the West there's the Avalanche versus the Predators, Wild versus the Blues, Flames versus the Stars, and Oilers versus the Kings. I think the Oilers versus the Kings should be a tough one, but all the other ones, I mean, hopefully the Avalanche and the Oilers figure it out and they get out of the West, so we don't have to see one of these. I want to say these no-name cities get in the finals again.
Yeah, like last year it was just like the nightmare situation for the NHL. Although I think they were the two best teams probably. But yeah, it was having two non-hockey cities in the finals was not probably best for the NHL.
Yeah, I mean it might be in the long run as far as building the fan base, but from the current fans, it's just like that's not something you want, especially when you're competing with the NBA and NFL and baseball for TV time. You definitely got to have at least one major city in there.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
And then we got PGA in effect. We got the your boy Scotty won the Players. Your boy Justin Thomas let me down. Almost had the 3 in the top 5 again. That'd have been a nice little 720 day, but let me down, man.
He let me down too. I had him. I think I had him top 20 as well. So yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, I'm about to DM him on Instagram, be like, yo, you messed up my parlay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. Somebody messaged DeMar DeRozan and it was like, yo, you messed up my parlay. And then he was like, oh, you're welcome. I was like, oh, great. These players, man. They don't know we're trying to get richer just like them.
Exactly. Trying to get it rich off you, bro.
Yeah, man. And then they got the Valspar Championship this week.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like too many heavy hitters are playing this.
No,
like everybody's saving up.
So yeah, you had the API 2 weeks ago. Last week, obviously, the Players Championship. So it does this week always like dies off a little bit. I think the next couple weeks. The one thing that like I said, I mentioned this before. I used to like was they would have the match play kind of in between here. So it was always a kind of a good change up, and you usually got a pretty good field. Now that it's not there, it's a little it's a couple of down weeks. I think the Valero Texas Open right before the Masters is getting a little more popular because guys have found that they play better when they play multiple weeks in a row, so they don't want to go into the Masters cold. So, but yeah, I think from now until the Masters in 3 weeks, I think it'll be a little bit quiet.
Well, there's a live tournament next week too, right? Or the week before the Masters, right?
I think so. I don't know. I don't keep up with that.
Oh,
I really don't. It's not on my feed. I don't see it. It's kind of one of the downsides of live. It's just like I don't even know where it's at, when it's I know nothing about it.
they haven't completely put the partnership through yet, right? They're still waiting on a few things, right? Or
To do
to
what?
a certain date. The live and PGA partnership.
So yeah, it's nothing is definite. They met with Tiger, and some of the board members met with the PIF leadership this week in the Bahamas. Still not really sure what's going to come out of it, but yeah, nothing's finalized. I think obviously it's best for golf if they're able to come together, but yeah, nothing yet.
Yeah, it's holding it up, man. Hopefully they can figure it out. I think both sides are realizing they kind of need each other based off the fact that Liv, I won't say stole some of the players from the PGA, and then the way the PGA treated some of the Liv players and Liv itself. But I think eventually it'll help both sides. So
it should, yeah. I think you're right. I think eventually it will help, but like even you had John Rahm, because John Rahm released his Masters dinner, which I don't know if you saw it, but it's a very Spanish menu. Actually, looks really good. But he's like basically like, man, I wish I was out there, defending my title here, Riviera, at Phoenix Open. Like he's just like, I think it's starting to hit him a little bit. He's like, damn, I miss these tournaments. Like, I think everyone kind of, when they went there understood kind of what the deal was going to be, but I think it doesn't really hit you until like you're not seeing these courses that you grew up watching, that you played forever. So I think it started to hit some of these guys.
yeah, they're missing some of the notoriety. Can't even talk right now. In reference to some of those bigger events where they should be playing. So
yeah.
But like I said, hopefully they can both come together on both sides and figure out some things, where they get the top end guys playing in all the major events at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then get some mixed events where, it's a live event, but they got PGA guys playing, or,
right,
live guys playing. So
yeah, I think they're gonna have to get there. I mean, I don't know if the PGA guys go to the live tournaments because they're kind of interesting. They have the interesting kind of layouts and teams and all that, but I can definitely see live guys coming to play some of the bigger PGA events, and maybe there is some sort of like team aspect that they can tie together with both. But
yeah, I think that would be fun, like a live versus PGA, 2-on-2, or
yeah,
whatever case it be. So we got March Madness, man. It's upon us. Ready to be shocked on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Man, I mean, some of these like regions are crazy, man. You want to give your Final Four first, or you want me to get mine?
you go first.
So for my final, my Final Four, right? I had on the men's, I got UConn versus Arizona. Then I got Houston versus Tennessee.
Okay.
Then I got UConn beating Arizona, Houston beating Tennessee. Then I got UConn versus Houston in the finals, man. Got UConn taking it down.
Okay. Back-to-back champs.
Don't get me wrong, it's gonna be tough for them. They got teams like Iowa State, which is a great defensive team. They're gonna possibly run into Auburn, which is another great team. But I mean, ultimately, I think UConn has enough, tools in the box where they can play. No matter who they play, they can beat. They can go big. They can, shoot threes with you. They can do pretty much anything you want to do. So but I still think, they still have to show up, man. When you're the target, people show up to play when you're the champs. So it's gonna be interesting to watch, man. Who you got in yours?
Yeah, so I do think UConn got a little bit screwed in their bracket. To be honest, I feel like Iowa State's a tough team. Illinois, again, another team that's played well this year. But so we'll go South Side. I like Kentucky coming out of there. In the Midwest, this one I struggle with because I like Tennessee. I don't like Rick Barnes.
Yeah,
I think
that was the thing too. I really don't like Tennessee. I don't like Purdue.
I'm gonna go. Oh God, I hate this. I hate this bracket.
It's the
Any
side. Yep, it's the side, man.
any one of these. Let's go Kansas out of there. Bill Self putting it together. In the West, I'm gonna go UNC, and then I'm actually gonna go Iowa State over UConn in the Elite Eight.
Oh, okay.
And then we're gonna go UNC versus Kentucky, and UNC taking it down.
Okay, you going straight blues, man.
Yeah.
You going old school. Okay.
Yeah.
I did like UNC as well, but then I also I think they was playing I had them losing to Arizona, right, in the round of 8, and then just because Arizona has a top offense and defense, and the guard, one of the guards that was at North Carolina transferred to Arizona.
Yeah,
So,
Caleb Love.
Yeah, so it's gonna. I don't want to say he's looking for revenge, but players get up for those games when you play your old team.
Oh, absolutely.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. But I mean, North Carolina does know, they are familiar with him as far as how he plays, what he likes to do. So that can also lean into their advantage. But we're gonna have to wait and see, man. I had Duke getting up out of here to Houston. I'm trying to think. I had Kentucky losing to Marquette just because Kentucky doesn't defend well, even though like they score 80, but they give up like 75, something crazy.
Yeah.
So Calipari,
I like them to hopefully outscore everybody.
Yeah, but I think Calipari's been struggling with the teams that have been losing focus at times. So I feel like they get a few games in and they lose focus and go out. But on that Midwest side, watch out for Oregon, man. I don't know. I know they got a big guy down. They got a big team as well. I think they could do some damage, man.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like Purdue about to get out of here first round again, man.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest. Like that team, I if they get past there, this is why I kind of like Kansas. Is again, I think that Kansas hasn't been playing well. They could easily lose in the first round, But if they do win that, I just feel like, either get McNeese or Gonzaga, who, again, Gonzaga hasn't played great down the stretch here.
Yeah.
And then, you could potentially get a Purdue in a Sweet 16 matchup. An Elite 8 matchup. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, or a match to get the Elite 8. But, yeah, that's a tough one for me. I think that right side of the bracket just isn't is difficult. Because I could see even in that South, I think you got Houston, obviously, who can suffocate people, but they just got smoked by Iowa State. So I don't know. This is where I just start to go back and forth a million times.
Yeah, but that's the thing with Houston. Even though they got smoked by Iowa State, their best player wasn't playing. But you still got to show up for those games. But I think that was kind of a wake up call for them. So they got to do what they got to do. I don't think Duke is what it is. They'll be a lot better next year with all those freaking top freshmen coming in. But it wasn't really anybody else. I have Marquette, making a little run. I feel like they're gonna give out against that tough defensive team. So it's gonna be fun to watch, man. Then on the women's side, freaking NCAA loading up the freaking bracket. This is crazy, man. Like all the teams they put in is on that side of the bracket. For my Final Four for the women's, gotta go with South Carolina, right? I had to play in Utah, and then I got Iowa getting through the gauntlet and playing USC, so we can see the matchup we want to see with these top 2 scorers, with Juju Watkins and Caitlin Clark. Then I had Iowa taking down USC, and then Iowa going against the juggernaut of South Carolina. Honestly, I can't see them beating South Carolina, but I'm going with Caitlin Clark, man, for them to take it down, to get a chip before she bounces out of women's basketball, man.
Yeah, and how about what's his face? The coach from West Virginia was like, yeah, we're gonna end her reign here early, in the second round. Like, bro, hold on a little bit. Let's not get too crazy.
Yeah, the thing with playing that her team is not her, it's the others, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because she's gonna get 30, right?
Yeah.
The thing
right.
is, she gets 30 with like 7 assists, 10 rebounds. So
Right.
you got to shut down the others and just let her get her stuff off. She's always gonna get hers because she's pulling up from 3 from half court. So most people are not guarding her. That side of the bracket that they have. I mean, they're looking at a second round matchup probably against Princeton. Then they'll probably see Kansas State, who they split with in the year.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're probably gonna bump into LSU, so a rematch. So it's gonna be tough for them, man. I mean, on the other side, I think USC just runs through people just because of Juju Watkins. I mean, I don't feel like they're gonna really play anybody until they get to like the Elite Eight when they play UConn, and then South Carolina is gonna roll through people as well. I mean, there's not really any heavy hitters. Maybe Indiana, but it's not physical enough for them. I mean, Notre Dame, they can match their quickness, but they're still too big for them. It's just gonna be both. I think both tournaments gonna be fun to watch. Especially, I'm actually a little bit more excited for the women's side just because they loaded up that freaking side of the bracket. But man, it's gonna be fun to watch.
It should be fun.
Fun bunch of weekends coming up. So
yeah.
So nobody text me unless you're trying to watch college basketball.
Stay away. Stay away.
Yep. And then I think that's pretty much it for sports, man. Then it's that time again, ladies and gentlemen. We got another edition of JD's Bites and Brew. What you got for us?
All right. So for this week, we got it's kind of like a deconstructed Philly cheesesteak bowl. It's a little different though. So it's not, you don't actually use the cheesesteak. So it's first we'll do some fries. So homemade fries. So cut up potatoes. You can either bake them in the oven. Sometimes I like to fry them on the grill, but for this on the Blackstone, Rich, there's a life hack for you. You can put a little bit of oil on there. You can fry some potatoes on there, and they're just as good as some fried French fries. And then instead of actual steak, I used some lean ground beef. Seasoned it with some seasoning salt, and then used some cheese, lettuce, and then fried up some onions and peppers and mushrooms, and then kind of mixed that all together and laid that on top of the homemade fries, and a little bit of like a Philly cheesesteak bowl, again with a little bit of healthier meat option. So yeah, it was actually pretty good. Something that actually reheated well as well. I wasn't sure about that with the potatoes, but it actually did okay. And you can actually I put a little bit of even a little more of a queso cheese on top, so a little extra cheese for you there, Rich.
Can't go wrong with the queso, man. So especially with the extra cheese, man. I'm definitely gonna try that out. Got the Blackstone, just like my boy right here. Got me a smoker, so I'm good to go.
Mm-hmm. You all set? You all hooked up now?
Yeah, I got I went with the Pit Boss vertical smoker. Mm-hmm. Then I got the same one as you, I think. It's like the 36-inch.
Okay.
I was debating to get it with the air fryers, but I was like, nah, that might be too much. So I just got the regular one for now.
Yeah.
So I'll be going down in about a month. So nice. I'll definitely have to try that with the potatoes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then what'd you guys drink that down with?
All right, so we were in Myrtle Beach this past weekend and hit up Crooked Hammock Brewery. So it's in North Myrtle Beach. They actually have a spot in Delaware too. But yeah, a pretty cool place. It's kind of it's in a little area called Barefoot Landing. So they got a bunch of little shops and things around. They got like an open area you can hang out. Pretty cool little spot. But I tried their coconut golden ale. Always curious on these coconut beers, how much coconut comes through, because I do like coconut. They're typically a little odd in a golden ale. typically they're in porters, stouts, darker beers like that, so you can kind of load up on the coconut, chocolatey type flavor. So this was called South to Somewhere, 4.9% ABV. It was actually pretty good. It was interesting. So it was lighter, obviously, being a golden ale, but I felt like they had a lot of coconut come through, almost to the point where it might have been a little bit too much, but it was still good. I probably wouldn't have more than one or two of them, just because I don't know. It's a little funky, and at that point, like if I'm gonna have that much coconut, I'll probably just go to a pina colada or something like that. But I thought it was pretty good. Like if you want a nice little refreshing beer, a little bit of that coconut flavor, I thought this was a pretty good beer. I'd probably give it like a 7.7.
Oh man, I mean that wasn't bad then.
No, it was just because typically, I feel like when you have these kind of beers, you don't expect too much to come through, too much of the the fruit flavor, whatever it might be, to come through. So when I took the first sip, I was kind of like, whoa, didn't expect that. Not that it was a bad thing, but it was just unexpected.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean the fact that the overpowering coconut didn't like sour the beer was pretty good. So
exactly.
I mean, if it gave you pina colada thoughts, then I mean that can't be too bad.
No, exactly.
And then the JD's Bites and Brew, everybody. And then for the BRRs this week, I mean, we got a nice little stable of shows right now. Like I mentioned before, we got Tokyo Vice second season. It's getting pretty good. Definitely check that out when you get a chance. Yeah, Love is Blind. They put out all episodes in reunion. Did you get a chance to see it?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They did your boy Nick dirty, man.
Nick? Trevor. Oh yeah, Nick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Francucci,
Well, Trevor to everybody else.
Nick,
Nick amongst us. So.
Yeah. They really did. I mean, I'm with Tom. Like, how'd they get that guy back on the show? They must have lied to him or given him a bunch of money to come back. Because like, who's coming back on and just get like completely embarrassed?
Yeah.
But to like I said last night, like to their credit, maybe they were just like, this guy screwed us, we're gonna screw him. Like hey, come on, we want you to recap your time, blah blah blah, and they just got on and just roasted him.
Yeah, man, they did him bad, man. He was about to cry, man. I thought that was funny, man.
Yeah,
I thought they would have got more stuff, like pictures or anything like that. But I mean, they did pull up the text, which was crazy. So that means somebody sent the text in. So
yeah,
because I didn't see any of that online going around. So
no.
Then I felt like they went easy on some of the other couples that I thought had a lot of drama going on, though.
Yeah, I kind of did. I did feel like they did hammer on Jeremy a little bit, which is well deserved, but they kind of, I don't know, maybe sidestep the Sarah and Jeremy relationship.
Yeah.
I also did feel like they could have done more with the Jess and Jimmy situation.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of brought it up a little bit, and then it kind of just went away. So, and I did like them bringing on the principal guy back on, and interesting that they're kind of like, seems like really good friends. I thought that was kind of weird, but
yeah, I thought that was weird. They're like, we speak every day, but we haven't started dating anybody yet. I'm like, What are y'all doing?
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, yo, I'm about to call in, like, they had a hotline. Like, yo, man, what you doing, man?
Right.
Like, F those kids, man. You better go get your wife, man. But then they brought back a lot of the older couples. They mentioned they did a second season of Perfect Match. I don't know if you've seen the first season, so
I did not. No.
Yeah, definitely go watch that first season. That's when they pretty much get a bunch of like older castmates from different shows, other reality shows, and then you pretty much can like pair up with somebody.
And
then like they have like little games where people compete, and whoever wins the game, you go into like a booth where you can rematch people or add other people to like the villa and cause chaos. So it's a nice little interesting little side hustle. So
nice.
As far as like the reality shows, but definitely give that a shot when you get a chance.
Okay.
Then hopefully they give us another season quick, man.
Yeah, I'm curious where the next one's going to be, and yeah, it's I think this was probably their best season. I think they had a couple of duds in there, but this one really delivered.
Yeah, I mean they had a nice little mix of drama. Only one couple made it, I mean, that couple that was the first couple that paired up too. So
Yeah, that guy's so
that was easy. But everybody else, it was definitely a nice little mix of drama and entertainment.
Mhm.
And as far as other shows, we got Halo 2. I think they're about to be up to the season finale this week, so definitely could binge through those first 2 seasons. Like I said before, I like the second season a lot better. Better acting, better actors, better writing, a lot more action. Definitely something you can check out. And they got Shogun. I think they're up to episode 4 or 5 right now. Probably FX's best show right now. Like I said, it's Japanese Game of Thrones events. So far, so good, man. Can't really complain about it yet. Definitely something you can check out when you get a chance.
Okay.
And we got Tom's show Constellation. We need answers, man. I think the next episode's out tomorrow. So
Yep.
they left us on the little cliffhanger. Old guy shot the black guy. Hope
Maybe.
possibly shot the black guy.
Maybe.
We got to see what happens with that. But there's a lot of stuff unanswered, man.
Yeah, there's a lot out there I mean, it seems like the two worlds are starting to kind of collide a little bit. So, like with the little girl seeing, her mom's funeral,
Yep.
but also like still like her mom holding her at the same time and seeing herself. So I think it's starting to get a little kind of convoluted. And then he meets up with the black guy meets up with Henry Caldera, but he's like, oh, no one calls me that, my name's Bud. He's like, you're like a hero. He's like, no, I'm not. Like, I left those 2 people. So I think it's starting to get a little weird.
Yeah, man. It's interesting to see how they're gonna connect everything and wrap this all up. So hopefully they don't just like feed it to us on a plate, and then they kind of like it kind of gives us the answer, but also leaves us with a little maybe if not maybe type of feeling where you also wonder about some other things that could possibly happen. So overall, that's pretty much it. I don't think there's anything else out there, man.
No.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time.
Till next time, Rich.
I want to thank y'all for rocking out here on the Sports Sidebar Podcast. Give y'all something to ride out on.